Welcome back to Living with Laury. I'm Laury, the founder of Laury Bride and Living, where I help women step into one of the most transformational seasons of their lives, not just through bridal fashion, but through intentional living and self-elevation. If you're new here, I'm so glad you're joining me on this journey of growth, elevation, and stepping into the highest version of ourselves. We're now in spring, and for me, this is the real new year. It's the season of renewal, of letting go of the old and making space for something fresh. And right now, I feel like so many of us are being called to step into something bigger, better, and even more aligned. But here's the thing. Stepping into your next level requires a rebirth. Think about it. Brands rebrand all the time. They refresh their visuals, shift their messaging, elevate their presence. And if a brand can do that, why wouldn't we do the same for ourselves? So in today's episode, we're talking about rebirth, the personal rebrand of you. And I'm sharing 5 things you can do right now to refresh, redefine, and realign with the woman you're meant to be this season. Because this spring, we're not just existing, we're evolving. So let's get into it. The first step I recommend for your rebirth is to let go of the old version of you. The first step in any rebirth is letting go of who you used to be. And I know that sounds deep, but hear me out. You can't step into a new season while holding on to an outdated version of yourself. And this is similar to what I talked about in the last episode, which was becoming her after you say, I do. So ask yourself, what mindsets, habits, or even relationships are keeping me tied to my old identity? Because if something is keeping you from evolving, it has to go, okay? It has to go. And this isn't just about removing things. It's about making room for the new habits, new standards, and a new way of seeing yourself. So the second step is to define your new identity. So now that you've made space in your mind for this rebirth, it's time to get clear on the woman you're becoming. Because rebirth isn't just about change, it's about intention. So who is the next level version of you? How does she carry herself? How does she speak? How does she dress? How does she move through the world? You know, I love creating a personal mood board for things like this. Think of it as a vision board for your rebirth. Find images, words, and even affirmations that align with the woman you're becoming. This should sort of be the blueprint for your rebirth. Step 3 is my personal favorite. Refreshing your personal style and space. Now, let's talk about style and environment, because when you're going through a rebirth, your surroundings and how you present yourself need to reflect that shift. This doesn't mean you need to buy an entirely new wardrobe, which I did, but it does mean being intentional about how you show up. A rebirth calls for a refresh, whether it's elevating your style, decluttering your space, or surrounding yourself with things that feel like your new level. So to get ready for spring, I myself just threw away everything in my closet. I was literally over it. I think I did this back in January. And I was just over the pieces in my closet, and I wanted to wear pieces that align more with who I am becoming. This is one of the pieces. And I created a vision board for it, and I used Canva to create style boards to help me decide what to wear daily. So choose one area, whether that's your wardrobe, your home, or your daily routine, and refresh it in a way that makes you feel more aligned with your rebirth. So the next step for your rebirth is shifting your energy and daily habits. As I am currently focused on these steps myself, I am reading Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza. I read this book before about a year ago, but honestly, it went in one ear and out the other. But reading it a second time, my mind is better positioned to take in the information simply because I'm shifting, I'm growing, right? This book talks about changing your daily habits to change your life. And it quickly reminded me of a Bible verse I used to hear all the time, which is Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. Now, I am not here to do Bible study. That's not my calling. But what I do know is that transformation starts in the mind. And whether you're reading it from scripture or hearing it from science, the message is the same. Your thoughts shape your reality. Reading Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself for the second time has hit differently because now I'm actually in a space to receive it. And it's reminding me that if I want to step into my next level, I can't carry the same mindset, the same habits, or the same patterns that kept me in my last one. So when we talk about rebirth, we're not just talking about a new look or a fresh start. We're talking about renewing your mind, shifting your daily habits, and becoming intentional about how you show up. Now, rebirth isn't just about what's around you. It's about what's within you. And one of the biggest shifts you can make is your energy and your habits. So, small, intentional shifts in your daily routine can completely transform how you feel. Maybe that means waking up with gratitude instead of grabbing your phone. Maybe it's choosing to move your body more or setting boundaries around what you allow in your space. Not only what, but who you allow in your space. So whatever it is, your rebirth starts with the choices you make every day. So this spring, I want you to try to commit to one small habit that aligns with your rebirth. Start with just one and then build from there. So the final step in your rebirth is to step into her and own it. Own your rebirth. Stop waiting for permission to become the woman you've been envisioning. Be her now. That means carrying yourself differently. It means showing up with the confidence of someone who knows she's already walking into her new season. And listen, your rebirth is not about perfection. I tell that to myself because I'm such a perfectionist, but it's not about perfection. It's about alignment. It's about making small, intentional choices that reflect the new level you're stepping into. So, act as if you are already her. Be delusional. Walk like her. Speak like her. Move like her, because she is already within you. So if you've been feeling the urge for something new, something fresh, consider this your sign. It's time for a rebirth. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one thing you're shifting this season? Drop it in the comments section and let's talk about it. If this episode spoke to you, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications because this season we're stepping into it fully.